Good morning, good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning, can I get some feedback? Yes, thank you, Caroline Popola. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Excellencies, ambassadors, depending on where you're joining us around the globe, as it's a cross-border conversation. So I want our chat box to be busy. It's our first webinar at Wimbiz for 2025, and it's starting on a good note. I'm going to be your anchor for the webinar today. I am Benita Afolabi, co-founder, Keystone Global Resources Nigeria, and the current managing director, Keystone UK, your #1 air and sea cargo shipping firm. I welcome all our honorables to this section. Thank you for making our time out of your busy schedule to be here. Before we dive into the conversation today, let's have a quick pause. It's a global webinar, and I know people are joining all around the world. As of 2 days ago, we had over 2,000 people registered to attend this webinar. It's going to be an insightful time. I want to read from the chat box. Where are you joining us from? Tell us your name and where you're joining us from. An angel investor can be in the house as we speak. Yeah, I see Kika from Essex, UK, right, great. Yes. Let's see those who are in the room. Wow, I see Queenette from Abuja. Did I tell you this is Benita Afolabi from United States of Lagos, Nigeria? Yes, Newcastle, UK, awesome. Zamfarawa, that's from the northern part of Nigeria. Yes, let it keep coming in. I see lawyers also. I see somebody say lawyer from, okay. This is Moji from Port Harcourt. I see, okay. Chioma from United Kingdom. Awesome. So let's get started. I promise you the webinar is going to be worthwhile. We have amazing speakers lined up from all over the globe. We're going to have an exciting time here because the speakers we have today, they're going to be sharing invaluable insights on business growth across border, and get ready for an insightful time here. So without taking much of our time, I want to welcome our smiling executive director from Wimbiz. She's no other person. Our very ED, I call her the smiling ED. For our open remark, Omowumi Akingbongbe, you have the floor. Please, with some virtual clap. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benita. Thank you for that engaging welcome. I can see the interesting messages dropping in the chat box, people dialing in from all over the world. I see someone from Kuwait and also in the United Kingdom. Thank you. So good morning, distinguished guests, our esteemed speakers, and most importantly, the incredible women entrepreneurs joining us this morning or this afternoon or evening, depending on the part of the world that you're joining us from. Thank you for creating time to be at this session. On behalf of Wimbiz, the Board of Trustees and the executive team, I am truly delighted to welcome you to this exciting and invaluable webinar on Nigerian-UK cross-border trade opportunities for women in business. I want to especially say thank you to the Nigerian High Commission, United Kingdom, the British Deputy High Commission, Lagos and Abuja, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, and of course, the Institute of Directors, Africa Group. No doubt you will agree with me that this is a loaded webinar. As we gather here today, we are witnessing a remarkable moment in history, where the power of cross-border collaboration is not just an opportunity, but a necessity. Our theme today reflects the growing demand for women in business to expand their horizon beyond the borders of Nigeria, tapping into international markets and gaining insights on the myriad of opportunities that await them in the UK and the world at large. Over the course of this session, we will hear from a distinguished panel of experts who will share not just knowledge, but practical insights that can inspire, empower, and help you take the next bold step in your entrepreneurial journey. From trade policies to market entry strategies, these thought leaders will offer you the grapevine information that can serve as a game changer for your business and growth expansion. Like I said earlier, it's not just a learning opportunity, it's a chance to form connections, to collaborate, and to position yourself at the forefront of global business network. Take this opportunity to ask questions, share your experiences, and most importantly, absorb the wealth of information that is now at your fingertips. At Wimbiz, we are deeply committed to ensuring that women like you, who are daring to dream big, break barriers, have access to tools, knowledge, and network that you need to succeed. We believe in your potentials, and we know that together we can build an empowered ecosystem where women-led businesses thrive across borders. It is important that you stay to the end of this session, where you will have opportunity to ask questions, and even also indicate if you would like Wimbiz to be your accountability partner. Before I conclude, I'd like to encourage you with a word from Zig Ziglar, which says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So wherever you are in your entrepreneurial journey, take this moment to gather information, to gather insights on opportunities, make connections, and have no boundaries at all in sight. Thank you once again for joining, and I look forward to an insightful and enriching session ahead. Over to you, Benita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edie, for that warm welcome address. Before we go into having our keynote speaker, His Excellency, we would want to briefly tell you about Wimbiz. Wimbiz is brought to you today. Wimbiz are the organizers of this webinar, but in partnership with the British High Commission. I'll briefly tell you about Wimbiz. I attended a Wimbiz event so many years ago, and that was part of my game changer in business as a woman. Women in business, in management, business, and public service, Wimbiz is a non-profit organization that has, over the last 24 years, implemented programs such as this that inspire, empower, and advocate for greater representation of women in leadership. Like you heard from the welcome address of our ED, please stay to the end. You wouldn't know where your next investor will be. It might be right here. We might even convert the webinar into a deal room. So stay tuned and have the best of the web now. So right now, we want to welcome one of our very own, our keynote speaker, to open the speaking engagement for the webinar today. Is no other person than the permanent secretary. Please, virtual clap. This would make him give it to us the way we want it. The permanent secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. With virtual clap, let's welcome Ambassador Nura Abba Rimi. You're welcome, my ambassador, sir. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by recognizing and highlighting the importance of this virtual event titled Nigeria United Kingdom Cross-Border Trade Opportunities for Women in Business. This initiative by the Nigeria High Commission in London in strategic collaboration with the Department for Business and Trade of the British Deputy High Commission in Lagos presents us with a significant opportunity for strengthening bilateral relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom, while at the same time emphasizing the empowerment of women in leadership positions through WIMBIZ. I wish to acknowledge that since its establishment in 2001, WIMBIZ has played significant role in advancing and advocating women's leadership across the various sectors. Today's event, therefore, clearly holds significant relevance within Nigeria's borders, economic growth strategy, as it seeks to foster conversations regarding the inclusion of women entrepreneurs in core of business in Nigeria, thus harnessing their substantial potential to promote innovation and economic diversification. As we are all aware, the trade relations between Nigeria and the UK has seen notable improvement with the signing of ETIP in February 2024. ETIP is Enhanced Trade and Investment Partnership. This agreement, which aims to bolster trade in key sectors including energy, legal and financial services, will also promote strategic partnerships, encourage foreign direct investment, and enhance collaboration in infrastructure development and manufacturing. It is heartwarming to note that the total value of goods and services exchanged between our two countries amounted to 7.2 billion British pounds in the fourth quarter of 2024. This reflects a 1.2% increase from the third quarter of 2023. Nevertheless, the landscape for women in Nigeria's business sector presents multifaceted scenario marked by significant informal economy and lack of adequate representation within the formal market. According to the 2021 survey conducted by Smedan, women were responsible for only 32.9% of the 38.4 million nano and micro businesses, highlighting their essential contribution in an area where male-led enterprises prevail. This particularly in areas such as agriculture, where male ownership peaked at 85%. Consequently, therefore, it is crucial to adopt a strategy that supports both the informal and the formal sector for women-led enterprises in order to effectively tackle the challenges they encounter. This includes, but is not limited to, access to capital, education, and technological training. Through ETIP, the strategic utilization of the mechanism within this framework, stakeholders could create new pathways for women-led enterprises, thereby improving their competitiveness in global markets and supporting the achievement of national development objectives. It is heartwarming to note that digital trade between Nigeria and UK is growing. with majority of this carried out by women. This digital trade focuses on areas like fintech, education technology, and cybersecurity. The UK is actively also supporting Nigeria's implementation of AFTA, Digital Trade Protocol, which aims to further facilitate digital trade across the continent. I wish to applaud the proactive engagement of the CEOs of Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, my dear sister Aisha Rimi, and the CEO of Nigeria Export Promotion Commission, Nonye Ayeni, who are both high-performing women in our ministry. Their involvement today is crucial for the effective facilitation of trade and investment opportunities, which are presented today here in this context. I'm sure their insights and strategic perspectives will play a crucial role in conveying how the federal government of Nigeria, through these two agencies, is promoting women-led initiatives and fostering wider economic engagement. It is undeniably true that today's event provides a platform for promoting gender inclusivity in trade, while highlighting the essential contribution of diplomatic mission in supporting economic diplomacy. This collaborative approach will undoubtedly advance the shared goal of empowering women and promoting sustainable economic development, particularly in Nigeria, but also in the United Kingdom as well. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I wish us all productive deliberations. Thank you and God bless.
Wow, thank you so much, Ambassador. This is, I told you, the keynote speaker has just made it known that there is no other time to expand, to cross borders than now. The women are making waves. There is no better time than now. 7.2 billion pounds. I don't know if you did that conversion to Naira. I don't know if your calculator was able to accommodate what the figure was. So thank you so much, Ambassador, once more. We appreciate your time. Thank you for letting us know how women are making waves both locally and internationally. Thank you so much. So to our audience, we're going to be having a Q&A section. So if you have your questions, just keep dropping them in the chat box. We'll pick it up, and all our speakers are going to be available to answer all the questions. So with that, we're going to move next to our next speaker, who is also an ambassador. He is the head industry, trade and investment at Nigerian High Commission, London. So we're not just focusing on only one part. We're not just focusing on only one part of the conversations. We're having the Nigeria part and we're having the UK part. And I bring to you this morning Ambassador Bello Jaye. He is the head industry, trade and investment, Nigerian High Commission, London. Your Excellency, you have the floor. Please, virtual claps, virtual clap. Excellency, over to you. Thank you, Violet. I see the virtual clap. Thank you, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, Excellency.
You can hear me, is it? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, before I go to read my one-page remarks, I would like to acknowledge my director, Ambassador Akinemi Bolaji. Before now, he was to be one of our presenters to make remarks in this event. But because of his trip to Tunisia to follow Mr. President on the Energy Summit, Africa Energy Summit, he was just back, but still he is able to, because of the importance he gives to this event, he was able to join us. So you are welcome, sir. Then again, I would like to recognize the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Nuruddin, who just not long ago made his remarks on this very important event. He had captured what really I have wished to delve into, which is the ETIP, the Enhanced Trade Investment Partnership between Nigeria and the UK. So I think what I would do, rather than reading my remarks, I would just pick what he has not touched so that we'll save time for other things. And particularly considering that it's going to be interactive, maybe at the question and answer sessions, if there is anything that is missing, then maybe there we'll look into it. So Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade and Investment, Ambassador Nuruddin, Director, Trade and Investment Directorate, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Executive Director, Export Promotion Council, Executive Secretary, Investment Promotion Council, Director, WIMBIS, Executive Director, WIMBIS, Country Director, Department for Business and Trade, fellow panelists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a sense of delight to address members of this distinguished audience as we gather at this remarkable event to discuss trade between Nigeria and the UK. We must also celebrate our esteemed women in business, corporate organizations, and the public service. I salute WIMBIS for organizing this webinar in partnership with the High Commission in order to enlighten our women on the trade relations between Nigeria and the UK, as well as the opportunities that lie therein. Nigeria and the UK share a long history, which is currently growing stronger and stronger through trade and economic ventures. Our long bilateral history had culminated in a relationship of deep mutual respect and understanding, which give impetus to our mutual desire to partner in trade and many other endeavors. Our people-to-people contact is paritenal and only surpassed by nations with greater and higher populations. Over the years, we have signed series of trade-enhancing agreements, periodically taking measures to improve investment and protect each other's citizens as they transact with each other in businesses. Similarly, both bilaterally and through other organizations such as the UN and the Commonwealth, where both countries share membership, we are committed to numerous instruments aimed at strengthening relations between both countries as well as other member states. This multilateral organization engender cooperation between states in areas of trade and investment, health, education, agriculture, and security, among a vast array of others. Bilaterally, the most recent landmark agreement signed between two countries is the Enhanced Trade and Investment Partnership, which was signed on 13th February 2024. I believe there is one of the ladies from the British High Commission who will give us an update. She's one of the people penciled down to give us an update on the UK part on this ETIP agreement. Then records of our National Bureau of Statistics show that agricultural produce are still our largest non-oil export, although notable growth was reported in other sectors such as technology, health, and energy. Among our highest exports are cocoa, sesame seed, cashew, and soya beans. Nigeria produces the best ginger and onion globally. However, lack of investment in processing and packaging our farm produce hinders access to some international markets. UK import of services from Nigeria in 2024 were estimated at £665 million. which is an increase of 2.9% from 2023. At the recent concluded Africa Energy Summit, 30 African leaders signed the Energy Declaration, which is committed to connect 300 million Africans to electricity by 2030. The African Development Bank and a multitude of its partners, including private entities, philanthropists, other development banks, and government have committed 50 billion to achieving this objective. This presents vast opportunity for businesses in the energy sector and all manner of economic endeavor that is currently facing electricity challenges. Companies will be able to work efficiently during standardized shift and will more accurately budget their expenditure on energy. With heavy investment on renewable energy, cost of production will surely reduce and thereby making manufacturing a more viable. This will increase job opportunities for our teeming youth, and which is a sector that WIMBIS need to look at. While in the traditional export of agriculture produce remain a viable business, there is far more potential in adding value to those goods and turning them into finished product. With 60% youth population, which is predicted to almost double by 2050, any product of acceptable quality will flourish as Nigerian local consumption will be good enough to sustain the company, while the growing appetite for Nigerian products abroad will generate ample demand. The Nigerian diaspora remittances remitted over $20 billion in 2023 and 2024. This is an indication of the size of our diaspora, which should translate to the size of demand for Nigerian products abroad. There are many of them looking for opportunities to invest at home, and an organized investment plan could be just what they are waiting for, which I think organizations as you as WIMBIS should work to achieve. The anticipated investment in energy generation is promising, and the use of integration of renewable energy will make manufacturing and production more viable. So I will implore us to start envisaging how to industrialize Nigeria again. I would like to thank Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Industries, Trade and Investment, the Executive Director, NEPC, the Executive Secretary, NIPC, the Director, Trade and Investment, Ministry of Foreign Affairs Headquarters, British High Commission team for making time to participate in this laudable webinar. In conclusion, I wish to use this medium to encourage our women to key into these trade relations and establish businesses that will enhance investment opportunities for our dear country. I also implore our women in diaspora to explore the opportunities that are abound in trade relations between Nigeria and UK, particularly things like BII, British Investment, International Investment, and then also UKEP and so on and so forth, which I believe the British participant will highlight, so that our diasporans who are on this side of the divide can capitalize and get funds to start businesses globally. Once again, I would like to applaud WIMBIS for taking initiative to inspire women to attain leadership position in business, management, and public service. We look forward to many collaborations in the future. I thank you for participating. Thank you so much for listening.
This has been mind-blowing, I would say. I think I have a feedback. So the ambassador has said it all. This is the time to cross borders. Ambassador, thank you so much. These words at webinars like this can just be a trigger to the start of a great change. Please, can I get confirmation? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Am I audible?
Yes, it's much better.
Awesome. Ambassador has said it all. There is no better time to start than now. There are too many opportunities out there to grab from. I don't know if you were hearing the figures. $200 million, 665 million pounds, and women, what are we waiting for? Let's don't sleep on this. Let's don't sleep on this. The opportunities are everywhere. In UK, in Nigeria, let's don't sleep on this. It's time to act fast. So let's keep the questions coming in on the Q&A section. There will be time for all the questions. I see a lot of hands going up. Everybody is itchy. I want to start making dollars. I want to start making pounds. I want to look like Her Excellency also, Aisha Rimi. You can see the way she's looking because she understands what's the rudiment of making this money in pounds, dollars, and euros. Ambassador, you have triggered something. We are all moving to your office. Go and wait for us at the airport. We're on our way because we can't sleep on this. So right there, I want to bring another speaker. She's one of those women that is making other women stand tall. One of those women that have gone beyond borders. They've crossed all the borders you can think of. She's no other person than our Executive Secretary, Nigerian Investment Promotion Council. Please, with a virtual clap, drum rolling for these women who are high flyers, who are making other women know they can go beyond borders. Please welcome Aisha Rimi, the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Investment Promotion Council. You have the floor, ma'am.
Muted, ma'am.
Could you please unmute, ma'am? While she's trying to fix her audio, she's going to be talking.
No, I apologize. The system was not allowing me to unmute myself. The administrator to do that, yes. So I was hoping that amongst your many skills that you were able to lip read, but I guess it's still a bit early in London. So good day, everyone. I'm not sure where everyone is. And to our very able and capable ambassadors and he for she's, Ambassador Nura and Ambassador Bello, good morning. Thank you very much for supporting us. I hope you now understand what it feels like to be in the minority. Thank you very much. And to the formidable, powerful ladies on this forum this morning, it's still morning for us. Good day. So let me start by saying, first of all, that my name is Aisha Rimi. I'm the Executive Secretary and CEO for the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. Sometimes we're wrongly called council, but we are a commission. And what is the NIPC? It is the official government agency that is responsible for facilitating, promoting, and coordinating investments in Nigeria. Some of our core functions are investment promotion, post-investment services, and policy advocacy. Now, there's always a belief that we promote foreign direct investment into the country. We very actively work with domestic investors as well, because retention is very, very important and key. And anybody who has bothered to set up businesses in Nigeria must be supported to be able to help them expand and grow and diversify the economy, boost economic growth, job creation, and all of those good things. So, like I said, our role essentially is to make Nigeria one of the top investment destinations in Africa through targeted outreach programs, investor roadshows, and trade forums. Our investment facilitation framework bridges the gap between Nigerian entrepreneurs, financial institutions, and trading partners. We're essentially this bridge between private sector and government. We facilitate business-to-business meetings, trade delegations, and networking events to encourage any credible alliances that will fuel economic growth and diversification. We recognize very much so the challenges faced by women in business, and so we actively engage with policymakers to advocate for regulatory reforms that can improve the investment climate. We collaborate, like I said, with government agencies to streamline processes, enhance the ease of doing business, and facilitate incentives that benefit female entrepreneurs. We are working on something at the moment called the Inclusive Business Policy, which is targeted at small and medium enterprises where we see a lot of female players. So that's we're working with the ministry on that to see how we can scale it up to become a national policy. One of the things that we have here is a one-stop investment center where we have 17 government agencies that help streamline business hurdles that investors often face. We also have, and that's called OSIC for short, and we also have the OSIC Lab, which helps businesses to resolve, we mediate when investors have issues to resolve any bottlenecks that they may come across in the process. Of course, it's not just always about problems. We also help to facilitate your business registration and application for permits, licenses, and all of that. So instead of going from government office to government office, you can come to us, and we have these agencies under one roof. Nigerian female entrepreneurs have significant opportunities in high growth areas such as creative industries, health, technology, e-commerce, and so much more. And of course, I heard someone talk about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and I think it's something that a lot of our females need to look into, because of course that opens up your businesses to a market of 1.4 billion people across the continent. So with increasing global demand for sustainable and innovative products, female-led businesses can leverage the abundant resources that Nigeria has and expand their market potential to scale their operations internationally. What are the incentives? There are lots of incentives that these businesses can tap into. There's a tax holiday of up to 5 years, which initial 3 years, and can be increased by another 2. Although I must say, I must caveat this with the fact that we have a new tax bill going through the motions at the moment. So that might change a little, but it will not eliminate the tax holiday. All it will do is refine it and redefine some of the categories. There are duty waivers and exemptions on the importation of certain equipment and machinery and inputs that go into some of these industries. We also help, like I said, with permits, licenses, and that sort of thing, including expatriate quotas for those businesses that require any kind of foreign expertise. So if you need to bring in people with technical skills that are essential to facilitate your business, that's something we can also work with. And I've talked about the business registration, which again enhances credibility and access to financial support. There's duty-free export of goods that are on those goods that are produced in special economic zones. And a lot of people don't actually know about some of these zones. So they used to be called free trade zones, which was a bit of a misnomer. And so there's now a shift to change that designation to special economic zones. Sometimes there are also customs duty waivers that we can help for you to obtain on your raw materials and equipment and goods produced, again, in and outside of the zones. So as Nigeria continues to deepen its trade relationship with the UK, we remain a key facilitator in ensuring that female entrepreneurs are not left behind. We champion investment promotion, strategic matchmaking, and policy advocacy. And we really, really actively work to empower Nigerian women in business to access international markets and to enable them thrive in what is now clearly a global economy. This forum, as I said, is timely. It's very important, and there's no way you can grow an economy without addressing or or engaging the female entrepreneurs who make up really a significant portion of our economy. And so we're here to help and support you expand your opportunities and wherever they may lie, if they're in the UK, if they're in Nigeria. And I always caveat my presentations by saying it is very, very important that when you choose, when you decide on how you want to operate, or if you're already in operations, it's very, very important that you have independent, credible, objective, legal, financial advice, and choose your partners very carefully, and just to make sure you're not caught on the back foot. So I hope that I have been, that this presentation has been informative. I'm going to have to leave very shortly, but I have another woman who is on this. Her name is Victoria, so she will address any Q&A, any questions that you might have. And I will also put my email in the chat box so that if there's anything else that you need information on, please feel free to send me an email and I will respond as quickly as I can. So thank you very much for listening to me. Have a good rest of the day.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know what else we're waiting for. Women, what are we waiting for? I never knew there were opportunities such as this. The space where I operate in the maritime industry, we have to do customs clearing. We have people coming from the UK with cargoes, and some of these cargoes might just be duty-free. We wouldn't know, but Wimbiz is bringing this information and opportunity to you, so you can also use this as a stepping stone. Like our executive secretary just said, you can't grow any economy without women, especially women entrepreneurs. So please, it's a time to key in. They won't stop investment policies, trade facilitation, registration, name it. All that is required of you to start is here. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing the opportunity for everyone to have your email. So if you have questions, we would want you to send it in. The executive secretary has other engagements that, like she said, there's somebody in the room that is also going to take up some of these questions. But before she goes, we're also going to ask, are there websites? Can we get links to the website where we get full details of all of this information? That will be really appreciated. Yeah, Ma Mojisola is saying, thank you, Essie, for taking out time of your busy schedule. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate. So please keep your questions in the chat box. We'll pick it up as the time for Q&A comes up. Please, let's keep hanging in here. We have another speaker this morning, this afternoon, and if it's evening where you're joining us from, she is going to be talking about the role. She's going to be talking about the role of Nigerian Export Promotion Council in promoting exports. You know, exports is the new gold. I don't know if you are aware of that. And we're supposed to be having the executive director of Nigerian Export Promotion Council in person of Noyi Ayeni, but she's unavoidably absent, and she has sent in another strong woman, another powerful woman who is going to be speaking to us about the role of promoting exports from Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Please join me as I welcome. She's representing the ED, and in person of Mrs. Ngozi Ibe, the Deputy Director, Egg Export Inclusiveness Division, Women, Youth, and Special Needs. Please, virtual clap as I welcome Mrs. Ngozi Ibe, Deputy Director, NEPC. You have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Moderator Benita, for this opportunity to NEPC, and I bring you greetings from the Executive Director, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Mrs. Noye Ayeni, who is unavoidably absent and has asked me to make her presentation. So for the opportunities for women in the non-oil export, the presentation, you can highlight it, please. Yes, goes as follows. We have an outline, introduction, what NEPC is all about, NEPC Women in Export Development Program, activities of the Women in Export units. We have the collaboration with ITC SheTrades, major activities of the SheTrades Nigerian Hub, and other useful links. NEPC, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, is a federal government's apex institution for the promotion, development, and diversification of non-oil exports from Nigeria. Our vision is to make the world a marketplace for Nigeria's non-oil products. Our mission is to promote the diversification of the Nigerian economy by expanding and increasing non-oil exports for sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Our strategy is to diversify the productive base of the Nigerian economy away from crude oil and foster a market-oriented, private sector-driven economy through product development. So these are services. They include the registration of exporters, export trainings and seminars, matching Nigerian exporters with potential buyers, advisory and coaching services, administration of export incentives, support in trade promotion services, and also support for women, youth, and special entrepreneurs. So the major sectors in the non-oil export, we have the manufactured, which are listed there, the agri sector, we have the solid minerals, and we also have the services. And in all this, women play a critical role, both in the value chain and the mainstream sectors. So we also have the prohibited products, which are maize, scrap metals, raw hides and skin, unprocessed rubber latex, timber, rough or sawn, artifacts, and antiquities. We have the wildlife classified as endangered species and their products. And we also have all imported goods which are prohibited for export. Nigeria's non-oil exports has been, ruled out by the Permanent Secretary in his own presentation. So I wouldn't really go into that. So for the major challenges of women-led businesses in the non-oil export, we have low access to finance, which is a recurring indices. We also have inadequate infrastructure, limited access to markets, insufficient mentorship and business networks. We also have poor access to information and difficulty in maintaining work-life balance as a woman. So for NEPC support programs for women-led businesses, NEPC launched its Women in Export Development Program in 2017, and its objective is to promote gender inclusion in the non-oil export sector by providing women entrepreneurs with equal access to export opportunities. So this dedicated division was created to mainstream women participation, and they include women in export units, we have the youth units, and we have the special needs units. So for the activities of the women in export units, we do export training programs, seminars, matching potential women entrepreneurs with potential buyers. We support collective trade promotion services. We also engage in advisory and coaching services. We provide market information, which is critical for you to embark on any export business, and also we facilitate access to finance. So there are various strategies for promoting gender inclusion in non-oil export. We have the women desk officers in all our 36 state offices. We normally do various capacity building programs tailored to their basic needs. We also have the women in export data. We have the women in export database, where we have over 4,000 women registered on this database. And we also do a lot of collaboration with business support organizations like WIMBIZ and so much more. So for the collaboration with ITC SheTrades, which is one of our main partners that help us to mainstream women participation in international trade, leveraging on the SDG goal number 17, which is on partnership. NEPC, interestingly, is a SheTrade Nigerian hub and is hosted right here in Abuja. Our aim is to empower women-led businesses through capacity building program, advisory and coaching services, enabling market access, and of course, registering with the SheTrades initiative. The UK Foreign Office is one of our major partners and funders for this initiative. Okay. So currently on this platform, on the SheTrades initiative platform, we have about 4,000 Nigerian women, as I earlier said, but over 8,000 women have participated and benefited from capacity building programs organized by the SheTrades Nigeria Hub from 2019 to date. So benefits of joining SheTrades, I've highlighted it. It helps you to create your own business profiles to let buyers know where you are, what you do, and the kind of products you have. We also have the matchmaking platform where you can browse through a number of business profiles in the international space, and we help you to form that linkage with them. We'll also build your capacity because this is one of the major strengths. We do it on a continuous basis, online, in person, and is also supported by the International Trade Center, which is an agency under the World Trade Organization. And of course, in all this, we have the networking opportunities where you meet your fellow women business owners, where you can network, share experiences, and all. So major activities of the SheTrades, NEPC, like I said, we partner with the ITC and the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in 2020, 2021 to organize policy dialogue for a gender-responsive public procurement policy for women-owned businesses in Nigeria. Between 2021-2022, NEPC collaborated with Women in Management, WINBIZ, to advocate for the government to approve a quota of public contracts for women. The target of this policy is to have women-led businesses account for at least 30% of all government's purchasing spent by 2026. So other major SheTrades activities are also highlighted. In post-COVID, NEPC was able to give about 120 women entrepreneurs some grants to help them cushion the effects of COVID-19. And that has made a lot of women still stay in business. Also, NEPC has its Go Global certification scheme where 95% of the beneficiaries are women, and they have certifications in HACCP, in FDA, Halal, ISO 22000, and so much more. So the second phase is ongoing, and I know a lot of women on this platform are also part of the beneficiaries. Over the years, NEPC, in collaboration with our partners, also, we facilitate physical trade events. In 2019, we were in Addis with some selected women for the global events. In 2022, there was also the Fruit Attraction Trade Fair in Madrid. In 2023, the Intra-African Trade in Cairo was also undertaken by NEPC. In 2024, we had the Spring Fair in Birmingham for women in the share sector. And in 2024, ITC SheTrades Kenya-UK Trade Mission was held in Nairobi. And on the sidelines, the Absa Bank, the host institutions, were able to connect women from Nigeria to other potential markets and buyers in Kenya. So for the SheTrades program, it's still ongoing, and I urge women to key into these endless opportunities by on this platform, that's the SheTrades platform, so that they can participate and engage and get themselves into the international space. So we have some success stories here highlighted, and also some useful links for you, the women on this, to connect with the NEPC. Thank you and stay blessed.
Awesome. This is full. Thank you so much. Please can we have virtual clap for the Deputy Director, Ngozi Ibe. She has represented Auntie Noye so well, so well. We are proud of you. We are proud of women doing great things in a time such as this, where non-exports, like I said earlier, is the new oil. So you need to look inward. NEPC is telling us their vision is to increase non-oil exports. They've put everything that is required, from certification to training. What else do we need? They're only going to do matchmaking. So you don't even just get the product, add value to it. And NEPC is telling you, as a woman in business, come over and would get you buyers. And these are not just words for the public, but I know of people who have benefited from the NEPC SheTrade. I had a few ladies who went with them to Kenya, I think last year. So these are endless opportunities for us to key in. Our Deputy Director, please, you have to drop links and access to all of this so that women on this call can benefit from this. Thank you so very much. This is really appreciated. Regards to the CEO of NEPC. So I don't know, I think now we're adjusting our seats as the flight is going on an higher altitude now. Sometime late last year, I was at the High Commission where I met this very person I'm going to introduce to you, where one of the companies in the UK wanted to come and establish a real estate company in Nigeria, Redefine. And I was at the High Commission, and this person that is going to come up now, please grab all you can grab from him, because he's protecting all investors from diaspora who are coming from the UK. I can't find my feet. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. This is the time for you to get all that is required. And they are also the sponsor and partners for this webinar, the British High Commission, Lagos, Nigeria. Please, with virtual clap, I want us to welcome the Department for Business and Trade, British Deputy High Commission, Lagos, Nigeria, in person of Smart Smithson, the country director. You have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Benita. It's so nice to see you again. And good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be joining you today to discuss cross-border trade opportunities between our two countries. I'm the country director for the Department for Business and Trade based in sunny Lagos, Nigeria. I will stand on existing protocol. There has never been a more exciting time to be a female entrepreneur in the UK and Nigeria. More women than ever are starting businesses, with young women leading the charge. The extraordinary potential of female-led enterprises to boost the UK and Nigerian economies has finally begun to be recognized at a time when both our governments are most focused on growth. In the UK, 19% of companies are led by women, and we estimate a £250 billion potential to the UK's GDP if women started and scaled businesses at the same rate as men. On our bilateral trade, as it's been said before, it currently stands at £7.2 billion. It is a trade that is multifaceted, it's long-term, and delivers on both our countries' growth agendas. It is a cornerstone of our vibrant and deep-rooted relationship, fostering prosperity, innovation, and cooperation. Nigeria is the UK's second largest trading partner in Africa, and our enhanced trade and investment partnership signed in February 2024 is the very first partnership of its kind that the UK signed with an African country, and only the second the UK has signed globally. The ITIP aligns with President Tinubu's 8-point agenda on the economy to create jobs, boost economic growth, and support businesses. It strengthens existing relationships between public and private sector bodies and establishes further technical cooperation, dialogues, and best practices, sharing with a view to address non-tariff barriers and in turn increase trade and investment opportunities in a sustainable way. We have a rich tapestry of fantastic UK businesses in Nigeria across multiple sectors, many led by female leaders, partnering with Nigerian firms to support Nigeria's ambitions. For example, on clean energy, UK firms are working to provide long-term, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions. On education, last week saw the announcement regarding Rugby School, the second UK independent school coming to Nigeria, and I'm confident that during 2025, we will see the first UK university establish a presence in this market as well. And on creatives, during the recent visit by our Foreign Secretary, when he and the Honourable Minister for Art, Culture, Sport and Creative Economy agreed to establish the working groups to strengthen the relationship between our creative ecosystems and support Nigeria deliver on its pledge to attract $100 billion worth of investment and create 2 million jobs by 2030. It is not a coincidence that the Foreign Secretary chose Nigeria as the first African country to visit in an official capacity. But this is not just about UK businesses coming to Nigeria. Through the Developing Countries Trading Scheme, DCTS, and our Trade for Development program, we are working to support the Nigerian economy diversify by encouraging and supporting Nigerian exports to the UK with a focus on female-led businesses. And last but certainly not least, London continues to be the premier destination of large Nigerian conglomerates and financial institutions wanting to access London's ecosystem as the world's largest financial hub to raise capital that can then be deployed to support projects in Nigeria or elsewhere, with notable examples including 6 leading Nigerian banks with a presence in the UK, large Nigerian conglomerates, and talented fintech firms. This is only a snapshot. I hope helps capture the breadth and depth of our vibrant trading relationship. Both Nigeria and the UK are open for business, and I'm certain our trade relationship will continue to flourish and expand over the coming years. And now I'd like to hand over to my brilliant colleague, a great example of female leadership as well within the civil service and in our High Commission, my colleague Mujinga, who will present and delve deeper into some of the areas I touched on. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark, and good afternoon to everyone. I'll say afternoon because it's just gone 12 here in Abuja. So as Mark said, I'm the head of trade policy for the British High Commission, and I lead on the Enhanced Trade and Investment Partnership, which Mark talks about a bit there, which essentially is, it sort of is the main structure of our trading relationship with Nigeria. I did have some slides. I don't know if they can be put on screen. Brilliant, thank you. So if we go to the first one, I wanted to bring the ETIP a bit to life for you by just here showing on screen some of the key areas that we work on. So on the policy side, you'll see that it covers a whole host of sectors. And I think the exciting thing about the ETIP, as Mark said, it's the first agreement of its arrangement of its kind with an African country. And we came to this understanding of what are the areas that we want to work on, what are the sectors we see growth, not just from the UK perspective, but for the Nigerian one also. And so this was a mutually created, we like to say co-created and mutually beneficial partnership that we agreed with FMITI in Nigeria. And one thing I want to pull out are the opportunities that are out there that sort of underpinned by the ETIP for involvement, and that highlight some of the initiatives that we have taking place that a lot of the women on the call can take advantage of. So on the dialogues, I wanted to highlight 2 of the dialogues that present a forum. The first one is the business dialogue. We had the first one in September, and this is sort of a government to business forum where businesses who either invest or trade in Nigeria or the UK have audience with either one of our governments and can talk about some of the issues that they are experiencing, whether they're challenges or, or their difficulties, or they need more information. It creates that environment where they can come to us and say, this is what we have stuck at customs. Can you talk to your customs people to get this out of the port so that things can run smoothly? So that's one of the forums where we open ourselves up to questions and queries, and hopefully can help support everyone in their business endeavors. And then the other working group I wanted to talk about is the export diversification working group. As we heard from Benita, exports is now gold. I like that phrase. I think I might take it. And the export diversification working group is really the place where we are highlighting the work of the Developing Countries Trading Scheme, which I'll go into in a minute. And it's sort of where we are working with FMITI and some of the other agencies like NEPC to really look at this scheme and see how we can use it to boost economic growth and support development, and some of Nigeria's aims to diversify away from oil, which I feel like I'm speaking to experts about, because a lot of the themes of what I'll be talking about have already been brought forward. So if we go to the next slide, I'm hoping this is not the first time that you're hearing about the Developing Countries Trading Scheme, which is the UK's trade preferences scheme. We like to say it's one of the most generous in the world, and it came into force in 2023. And it has the aim of promoting trade and encouraging mutual prosperity between the UK and fast-growing developing economies like Nigeria. The DCTS improved goods market access for Nigerian goods into the UK. So now over 92% of all goods are eligible for duty-free access to the UK. And you'll see on the slide that I've tried to capture a few of the goods that I'm talking about. It's a non-exhaustive list, but you'll just see from the amount of products on there that it's quite extensive. And I think we've tried to count them all, but essentially what we say is that it's removed tariff on nearly 3,000 Nigerian goods. So all sorts of products. And hopefully, I've also put a link there to some of the websites where you can find out a lot more information about the scheme. And then it can go into, I don't know, I'm sure there's women on this call who cover a whole host of sectors. So if you do a bit of research using some of the resources that we've linked here, but I can also put in the chat, then you can find out sort of what is the tariff on the potential good that you'd want to export, and see some of those changes which could benefit you. But the other thing I also wanted to highlight, because a lot of the times as policy people, we write policies and then they're not used. So I like to say a policy is as good as it's used. And sometimes it's just that next step that people need us to bring to life some of the changes. So we will be having a roadshow event centered around the Export Diversification Working Group. And we will be having some events in March. Details are still TBC, but we'll be holding one event in Lagos and I think one event in South. So I wanted to flag to this audience, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of people here who could benefit from some of the information that we'll be sharing at those events. Because one thing we want to do is also bring through a UK buyer to talk about, navigating the UK market and some of what they would like to see from potential exporters. So if you are interested in that upcoming opportunity, then I will say, please make sure to keep an eye out on the UK in Nigeria social media channels. That's where we sort of put out a lot of these opportunities. So I'll put a link to that one in the chat as well. And then quickly, there are two other things I wanted to highlight as opportunities for some support and some of the initiatives that we also have at the BHC. And the first one, if we go to the next slide, is the Growth Gateway. So this was launched in 2023 at the Africa Investment Conference. And it's a specific place where I can point you to go to find exporting of advice and some guidance online specifically about exporting to the UK. I've put a bit of a screenshot on the slide so you can see the type of resources you can find there, but it's another one of the links that I would definitely urge people to check out. And the other thing I wanted to highlight about Growth Gateway, which I think is a really, really good opportunity, is that Growth Gateway provides a dedicated business advisory service for African businesses wishing to trade in the UK. And in order to qualify for this, there are some conditions, and I know the team is sort of reviewing some of the conditions, so some of them might change. But it's one of those opportunities where you can apply, and if selected, you can get sort of bespoke help with looking at the UK market. So I would definitely urge people who are interested in that to definitely apply through Growth Gateway, especially those people who perhaps have exported before and are experienced. I think those are the people we sometimes struggle to find. And, you know, they tell us they're exporting to the US or places in Asia, and we ask, why don't you want to come to the UK? And they say, you know, it's too hard. I don't think we're as hard as other places, but this is one of the places that you can go to perhaps get that support and maybe get some of those answers around you know, how you can make exporting to UK, I think, more accessible. And then the last one I wanted to point out is the SheTrades Commonwealth Plus program. But I was happy to see that my colleague, the Deputy Director from NEPC, sort of talked a lot about SheTrades. So I won't repeat what she said. I'll just say that we also recognize that women play a significant role in African trade. And so we want to make sure that we help create the right conditions and, you know, really center ourselves on building capacity for women to thrive in global trade. And that's what SheTrades does, working very closely with NEPC, as you heard, through the International Trade Center. And through that, we also run various initiatives, and there's opportunities that come up for, like you heard, trade missions. We have two Nigerian women-led businesses in the beauty sector who are actually about to go on a trade mission to Manchester in February. So I'm sure they're going to have a good time. And we also have sort of upcoming events, hopefully in February, showcasing some of what the SheTrades Hub in Nigeria does. And I know that will be open for registration. That event will take place in Abuja and be open for registration probably in the next few weeks. So again, that's another one. If you are interested in some of these opportunities, definitely please keep an eye out on the UK in Nigeria social media pages. And I'll stop there because I probably could take too much of your time.
Thank you so much, Mujina. British High Commission, there is no better time to start. But now, Mark, he for she, I think I'm jealous. While you were talking, I was saying, this sounds amazing. This is wow. This is mind-blowing. And we never knew Mujina had the bomb. Thank you, Mujina, letting us know. Yes, Keystone Global Resources, the firm where I sit as the MD in the UK. We have a sister company, Trading Circle, that does fresh vegetables to United Kingdom. And I tell you, this is a testimony for you all on the call. It's duty-free. I pay nothing. So you don't need to go get the information anywhere. I'm giving you right here. We do fresh vegetables to United Kingdom weekly, duty-free. So thank you, Mujina, and thank you, Mark, for this insightful share that you have done today. And Mujina, a lot of questions are in there for you. Women voting for you. Oh, so where has Mujina been? Trade mission to Manchester. I attended a trade mission to Birmingham some years ago, and that was my game changer to cross-border trade. So please take this and let's run with it. Please, HQ, can you spotlight board chair? She's in the house. Please, can you spotlight her? We have a very important personality who joined us while Mujina was dishing it all out. No other person than our own chair at Wimbies. She's the board chair, BC Adeyemi. You're welcome, Ma. Thanks for joining us. Also to note that a lot of people are on YouTube, we see you. We see your comments, we see your questions, and in due time, all questions will be attended to. We have enough time for Q&A because that's where we need to talk to Mujina more. Tell us, we have to talk to Mark, we have to talk to NEPC, the Chief for Trade. And also, I see a lot of questions on the chat box. How do we join WIMBIZ? Please join WIMBIZ now. Now is the time to join WIMBIZ. And the links to join will be put up in the chat box. Please, I encourage you. I won't say the best is left for the last. We have one more speaker who is going to bring it home. He's driving it home. He's the chair, UK Institute of Directors, IOD. He's going to be taking us on how we can move our trade beyond Nigeria, how we can move our trade beyond United Kingdom. And he's no other person than the chair, UK Institute of Directors, African Group, to give his presentation this afternoon, this morning.
Thank you so much.
Let's have a virtual clap as we welcome Joel Kokwola.
Thank you very much, everyone. I want to start by, first of all, recognizing the presence of my own ambassador in the UK House, Ambassador Bello Jaye. Good afternoon, sir. The Institute of Directors was established in 1903, and we got our Royal Charter in 1906. What we do in IOD is one of the most prestigious business forum in the world, with over 20,000 business leaders within and outside UK. Within the IOD, we have different business groups. The IOD Africa is the only one that addresses the continent. We have IOD Japan, we have IOD China, we have IOD International Trade Group. What we do in IOD Africa is that we connect British businesses, especially among our membership, to African continent. We work closely with all the diplomatic missions in London to understand the trade and investment need of each of the 54 countries in Africa, distill that to over 20,000 membership within the IOD, and then facilitate trade and investment with established business institutions like DBT. Before I say my speech, I want us to take a step backward to ask 4 big questions. If you are planning to take your business to UK from Nigeria, or you are somebody who is registered in the UK, who is resident in the UK, and you are planning to start your business within the UK, these are the 4 big questions you must ask as a business leader. The question is, why do you want to expand? You need to know why you want to expand your business from Nigeria to the UK. Is it because of economy of scale? Are you expanding because you want to lower your cost of production? You want to increase your supply? Or you want to expand because you want to take what we call first mover advantage? You need to answer that question. The second question you need to answer also is, where actually should this expansion take place? If you are a business successful in Nigeria, do you want to expand within Nigeria, or there is a need for you to expand abroad? You need to be convincingly and compellingly answer that question. Then, is the timing right? Is it really the good time for you to expand this January to the UK? Or is it February, or you want to do it during summer or in December? There are so many things you need to consider when you are answering this third question about the timing. Then the fourth one is, how should you expand? I will only dwell on 2 of these questions, which is the first one and the last one. I think most entrepreneurs will be able to know whether the time is right, where they want to actually expand. But the one that is a bit technical when you are expanding to economy like the UK is, number 1, why do you want to expand? And then I will give us fundamental principle, or what we call framework, that will help you to answer that question convincingly. The first question, and it will sound as if I'm marketing UK, and yes, I don't have apology, I can market the UK. Yes, and also it might stand as if I'm marketing Nigeria. So you will be able to see the balance where I'm pitching compellingly about the UK and I'm unpacking the vital advantage that Nigerian businesses has to also expand to the UK market. The first thing I want us to consider is what we call distance. Distance is not about physical distance. How close is Nigeria to the UK? As a business person, you must be able to answer that question. I can say to you, Nigeria is very close to UK. I can say Nigeria is as close to UK as Lagos to Ogun State. You won't even know when you leave Lagos and you have entered Ogun State because, number one, we speak the same language. UK colonized Nigeria, and then there is no language barrier when you are expanding your business into the UK. So you should know that number one, you speak the same language that we speak in the UK. Then we have commonality in our legal framework, because when you talk of businesses, you need to know a bit about the legal framework of what is available in the UK and what is available in Nigeria. The cultural ties between the UK and Nigeria is ever increasing. We've had our ambassador mentioning that. Also, Mark also explaining so much about that Nigeria is still the second biggest market when it comes to trade and investment between UK and Africa. Mark, we want to be the first. We just don't want to be the second. We want Nigeria to be the first. So by the time we are having this conversation next year, we want to say Nigeria is the first trading partner with the UK, and that will be our deliverables for this year. Then the consumer preference, it needs to be examined, and we need to think through the consumer preference. In UK now, I know African food is really expanding. I know fashion is really expanding. I know the other time we have a top musician in the UK, entertainment. And one thing that is also growing here in the UK among Nigerian community or among Nigerian businesses is fintech. We've had some fintech relocating from Nigeria to the UK, and we have some financial services also doing the same thing. We want to see increase in these industries. Then also, there is similarity in our education. So when you are coming to the UK, you are not considering, are you going to have skilled labor, or are you going to have people that are capable to handle your business? The answer is yes. So the ease of doing business in UK is well established and transparent. So that gives you a comfort that you are expanding into a country where you have peace of mind, you have transparencies, and there is always consequences to your actions or your inactions. So that gives you a comfort as a business person. Then the proximity between the UK in physical sense might be a bit about 6,000 miles, which is also the distance when you are driving from Lagos to maybe Maiduguri. So it is the same time if you want to move your good physically from Lagos to Maiduguri, it will take you the same time to move it by flight into the UK. So we can say we are still very close. And then there is massive world-class infrastructural development in the UK, which I think all the businesses need. 4 out of 10 best universities are in the UK. I think none from Europe. So that shows the kind of skilled labor that we have in the UK. Then you need to consider that UK is also the global financial hub. It is majority of financial institutions have their offices in the UK, whether you are talking of banking or you are talking of insurance. Even top 6 banks in Nigeria also have their full subsidiaries in the UK. And then we need to understand the kind of expansion we want to do. There are 3 expansions that I think Nigerian businesses can consider when they are coming to the UK. The first one is what I call the global business services. If you want to do a global business services, it means you want to completely outsource your services from Nigeria to a partner in the UK. When you do that, you have no risk, you have no control. It means you have outsourced your control, and we have some businesses that are doing that around UK from the African continent. The second one that you can do is also for you to have a full subsidiary, which is what the banks have done. They establish a full subsidiary in the UK, so they carry 100% risk, they carry 100% control. So you can do that. Another one is, can you have a partner in the UK and then you can export directly to the UK? We have that a lot when you talk of food industry in the UK. You can get to a store, you want to drink Nigerian Milo, you can get it in the store and have Nigerian Milo that you want. You want to Nigerian vegetable, you can get all that. So it means they have done what we call absolute export, so which it's a good one. Yeah, I want to touch a bit about the challenges, or let me go to how to expand, because the first question has been why you want to expand, and I've said certain things on that you need to consider if you want to expand your business to the UK. Then how do you expand? What do you need to consider when you want to take your business abroad? And what I'm saying is not only particular to the UK economy. You can use this template if you are expanding your businesses into a different region where you are not really familiar with. The first one is that a partner with a local firm might really help you. You need to get somebody that understands the language, understand the culture, understand the business environment, and you can partner with them. You can leverage on your unique products. If your product is so unique, you can leverage on that when you are expanding. Then you need to consider investments in branding. Most importantly, when businesses are expanding out of their comfort zone, they use the home profit to expand to a new place. So you might need to have what you need to, thank goodness there is social media now. You can create an ad that is targeted to specific area where you want to expand your business. Then you need to consider that UK buyers are highly informed. And I will talk a little bit about the logic of place of UK when you are doing your expansion. They are highly informed. In Nigeria, you can buy an electronics now, you take it out, you come back, you say, I don't need it again, they won't take it back from you. In the UK, if you are the owner of the electronics, they can claim reform. There are some reform that can take up to 5 to 6 years. If you say this is a mobile Hoover and the Hoover stopped working, then you should know that the buyers are going to return it back to you. So you need to know that. You also need to know that the quality of the product that you are going to send to UK must be very competitive. It must be high quality. So because you compete with everybody in the world to sell your market or sell your goods. So you need what we call adaptation. So if you are selling a product, you need to adapt it to what we call the UK standard for you to sell your product in the UK. And I know each country has their own standard, so you might need to review that when you are considering expansion to other regions. So then also you need to know that buyers in the UK always have options. There are alternatives. So your product is not going to be the only one. So your product needs to compete with others, and then you need to have a comparative advantage of your product so that people will prefer your product to other ones that are coming from other regions in the world. So the buyers have substitutes. Then you need also to know that because they have substitutes, you have to innovate, you have to adapt, you have to think ahead of competition to ensure that you don't just launch your product, you launch your product and you sustain it. And then I want to say this, that whether you are coming from Nigeria or you are in the UK, you have massive opportunity with Nigeria High Commission Trade Desk. You can be sure that they will give you appropriate guidance. We work closely with Nigeria High Commission in the UK. I hardly let Ambassador Bello Jaye rest, because if you have businesses that are coming, I will get in touch with him. And also from the UK side in Nigeria, you have the British High Commission. They are highly supportive. We have launched British businesses with their commission. The last one was July last year. It was successful. They will give you all the support that you need. Then on the logic of place that I mentioned, in the UK, you need to know and adapt your product to the logic of place of UK. The logic of place of UK is credit. You can buy something now and pay later. So whatever business you are bringing to the UK, make sure it fits into that. If the product fits into the logic of place of the UK, then you know that I don't need to save maybe $50 or £50 rather to buy your product. I can buy your product for $50 and I pay you in 3 installments or 4 installments or 5 installments. That makes you to get customers. But if you think it's cash and carry, yeah, it's cash and carry. When people have money in their pocket, they will come to see you. But if they don't have money in their pocket, but if you can spread the payment for them, that also will give you a comparative advantage. Yeah, as I'm rounding off, I want to also thank the Department for Business and Trade, Mujina and Mark, for their support for Nigerian businesses. And also, we have what we call British Business Group in Nigeria, which you can fit into that. I'm also a member of the British Business Group in Nigeria. And you can get support from all this forum to ensure that you have informed ideas, informed roadmap to bring your goods to the UK. And it will be my delight to welcome as many as possible businesses from Nigeria to the UK. I chair the IOD Africa group. Yes, Africa, but Nigeria first. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joe Opokuola. That is, I like the fact that I said Nigerian first. Yes, I pride myself as a Black Nigerian girl, right? So it's Nigerian first, then others follow. Thank you so much. That was really insightful. The Big Four, I don't know if we took note of that, the Big Four. While Mr. Joe was talking about distance, some people would look at how distance, how do I manage my Nigerian company and my diaspora company. These are the reasons why I'm not going to move from where I am. I tell you, there are days where I go on a Virgin flight at night and I get into Lagos in the morning and I'm heading on for meetings. Yes, so distance should not be a barrier in cross-border trade. And take advantage of the United Kingdom, like Iya said, it's a way to go. Language is not a barrier here. We know of some European countries where you go to and you can't even make your way from the airport to your hotel because of language barrier. So I think this is a best way to go on cross-border trade. Thank you so much, Mr. Joe Opokuola, for that. And then we'll be looking out for the link to join those groups, those business groups, to help also every other person on the call who would require it. Thank you so much. There is no better time to start than now. You heard when Mr. Opokuola was talking about us coming to be #1 trade partner of the United Kingdom. So women, we've got work to do. Women entrepreneurs, we've got work to do. And the work starts now. He was asking, what time do you want to start? Is it January? Is it summer? There is no better time to start than now. How? So the chat box is full. So to all our speakers, you have done justice. For the chat box to be filled with questions, it means we have really learned a lot from all that you have delivered today. So we'll be going into our Q&A, which is, I know our speakers are ready. They are waiting to answer our questions. But before we go into the Q&A, I want to say a very big thank you to all our speakers. Your time is really appreciated. So I'll go into the Q&A section now. We'll take the questions one after the other, and anyone that has to go with any of our speakers will call you to respond. So I have a question here. The question says, are there specific products or businesses that can be transacted across the border of the United Kingdom? If yes, can we know them so we can leverage on it? Also, what do we benefit as members of WIMBIZ? Okay, I'll start from the bottom. You have a lot to benefit as members of WIMBIZ. See the lineup of speakers we've had today. If you were to pay for this webinar, I know you pay in pounds, right? And WIMBIZ is bringing it to you for free. Have you not connected? I can see my chat box is full. I saw somebody saying I sell onion, I sell this. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Let's connect. I'm seeing a lot of let's connect. That happens only in Wimbies. So I would want Mr. Joel to take this question. Are there specific products or business that can be transacted across the borders of United Kingdom?
Yes, thank you very much for that very important question. Yeah, product knowledge is very important, and your consumer appetite or preferences very important when you are considering expansion into the UK. Yes, the answer is yes, there are specific products that you might push into the UK market. For example, when Ambassador was talking, he said Nigeria has the best quality ginger. He mentioned Nigeria ginger, he mentioned Nigeria onion. I can tell you for the first time I had Rwanda coffee in York. York is a big city here in the UK. Rwanda coffee in York sold at a premium. There are so many coffee shops in the UK, so many. But before you can get Rwanda coffee, because it's one of the prime coffee that you can taste, you will travel. You will travel around to get it. So that is the kind of product differentiation. If Nigerian garlic is the best, and this is where the Nigeria president needs to be the chief marketer of our product and services. Every avenue, everywhere it goes, it should be able to tell the whole world, Nigeria has the best garlic, Nigeria has the best onion. Then people will start to want to even have a taste of it if it's the best in the world. So you can look into that. We spoke about entertainment. That's another product that you can roll out into the UK market. We talk about fintech. It's also what you can roll out into the UK market. We talk about other financial services. So if you have your product and you need a bit of advice, yes, we can provide that advice for you. It's free of charge, so don't worry yourself about that. Then we can help you to look at what you are thinking, because it's all the product that everything that we use in Nigeria, they use them in the UK, and everything they use in the UK, we use them in Nigeria. So the list is endless. I hope I've been able to try to answer your question.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Joe. Yeah. So the next question will go to the director from NEPC, Mrs. Ngozi. And he says, there's a question here for you. The person introduced herself and she says she runs a catering business. She's based in Nigeria. How can a caterer based in Nigeria export Nigerian food, dishes, cooked food? How can she export this out of Nigeria? I know you do the export certification, and so that question is for you. Yes, do we have Madam Ngozi? Okay, if Madam Ngozi is not on the call, can we have any of our speakers respond to the question? Mr. Joel, are you able to help us?
Okay, I would try. Yeah, because it's more of regulatory products and general products. What I'm sure is quite a lot of food that we eat in the UK, they are pre-cooked. So, and if they are pre-cooked, definitely if we meet this standard, I know, because I work with so many diplomatic missions in the UK, I know Namibia has been able to be the first African country that exports dairy products into China and also into America. I'm not sure whether they are exporting to the UK yet, but if they could do it in Namibia, definitely we will be able to do it in Nigeria. When I say dairy products, we know that some of these dairy products are pre-cooked. So I would think you need to explore what are the regulatory frameworks, or what are the regulatory restrictions that you need to, or certification or licenses that we need to get from Nigeria to be able to export our jollof rice. I really, yeah, jollof rice it still remains the best jollof rice you can think. So we want to have it. So if it can save my time to just put jollof rice in the microwave in 3 minutes, it's very hot, than for me to cook from the start. So, you know, so many things are competing for our times now. So if you have ready-made cook already from Nigeria that we used to, and we have huge population of Nigeria in the UK, if you are focusing on Nigeria in diaspora alone. And the truth about it is also most of the food that we eat in Nigeria, Asian also eat it. So if you go to Asian shop in the UK, you will see them selling almost everything that we have in Nigerian stores. So we can expand that to other community outside the Nigeria, outside the Nigeria community if we are sending cooked food. So that's a good one. And already we are even sending it anyway. We have chips, which is already fried. We have those ones already. We have. I was able to eat kilishi. That is a cooked food. I've been able to eat donkwa. So those ones are really what to find even difficult that will be available, but they are available. So I think it is possible. We just need to see how we need to be licensed to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joel. I don't know if you've taken Agbalumo. It's Agbalumo season and it's everywhere in the UK now. So please find some. There's even fufu. The list of things you think you can find is there. So women, let's take advantage of these opportunities. A lot of questions here are going for NEPC.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Victoria Aipedian. I'm representing NIPC, just like Ms. Rimi had said. Yes. So I'm a deputy director in the Department of Investment Promotion. So if I'll just leverage also on what Mr. Popola had said. I think sometimes also to be able to, transact business across the Atlantic, it's also good to understand the regulatory framework from Nigeria, and then you're also, transacting it. You want to export it to the UK, so that when it gets to the UK, it's not returned. So I have experience where there was a time that Nigeria was exporting palm oil to the UK and it was returned. That importation stopped. So we had to organize meetings on what happened, what should we do and all that. So if I will advise on what you had said regarding, sending cooked food abroad, I think we should look at that person should look at the regulatory framework on both sides of the country. What is obtained in NEPC, for you to be able to do that. And you must meet the preconditions also in the UK, so that when it gets to the UK, it's not returned. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much. Yes. So right as the conversation was ongoing, the representative from NEPC, Mrs. Ngozi, is back on the call. I don't know if, Ma, if you would have to help us react to the question on exporting. Eketra is asking the question, the process of exporting cooked food out of Nigeria to the UK. Madam Ngozi, are you here? Okay, so we'll take the next question. As soon as she comes in, she would help us react to that question. Okay, so the next question here is, how do we do business with UK when the embassy will not issue visas? I have applied twice just for a visitor's visa to spend my 2 weeks work leave in the UK to explore the terrain and check out opportunities for business expansion, but I was refused. Who would help us here? So we don't just put all the questions and feel they are not important. Yes, because for businesses to happen, there must be there must be exchange of visas approval. You must give us visa. If you don't give us visa, how do we go beyond borders, right? So who would help us? Who would help us take this?
Ms. Afolabi, can I respond to this also?
Thank you, Victoria.
Okay, so with regards to the visa issues, right, I would come from the point of view of investment promotion. You know, so even if you're having issues with obtaining visas, those who are already on the ground in the UK, so I'm going to look at how businesses in Nigeria and the UK can work together. So for example, I want to take things abroad and I'm not able to do business. I can leverage on an existing structure, existing platform, who can assist me to navigate that business environment and assist me to get investors, you know, because by the time you develop your profile, and because when you get to the embassy, right, there will be an issue with what are you going there to do? But if you already have a pre-existing business network, then it's easy for you to be able to transact. So I would suggest that while you're having issues with getting the visas, you can leverage on a structure to get a business partner who can work with you. And then from there, you can transact your business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, so those are also preparatory times. When your visa is refused, doesn't mean you cannot trade. I see Mr. Popola's hand up. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think we complain so much that UK don't give us visa. We have our diplomatic missions here from Nigeria. They will also confirm to you Nigeria don't give UK visas. The experience of British businesses, and because that is what we have experienced taking businesses to Africa. Some African countries are more lenient in giving even British businesses visa. Nigeria is one of the most difficult countries to give visas to business leaders in the UK. We have, so I think as we speak to the British embassy, we also need to talk to Nigeria embassy that, look, we need to make sure that the accessibility is important in business. We have fantastic ports, we have fantastic airport and seaport, we are fantastic of everything, then people's movement precedes trade. So if I want to do a business in a country and I'm not sure that I could be physically present at any time, it's worrying. So we need to speak to Nigeria, and it's not Nigeria Commission, it's Nigeria Immigration Services, because they hosted, though when we are complaining, we complain about Nigeria Commission absolutely fantastic, but it is Nigeria Immigration Services. As a chair of IOD, I was taking a business to Nigeria. I couldn't even get my passport renewed as a Nigerian. So, as a Nigerian. So I have to travel on expired passport. It was disgraceful, but it happened. So we need to talk on both sides. Nigeria complained that British don't give them visa. Ask Nigeria how many British they issue visas to. And there should be mutual respect when we are doing this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joel. Yes, the authorities are here.
Hello, Benita.
Welcome. Yes, sir.
Hello, please, if I can just talk on what my brother just...
You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, on this immigration issue, I think my brother Popola should know that, in fact, that one is something that is past in the past. Now, hopefully in 2 weeks to come, you just do everything in your room. What we are working on now is just we are just trying to finalize, because as the system now is you do your thing in your room, you pay everything, and then straight the data will go to Abuja. Abuja will produce it. The next day it will be on its way through DHL or whatever means to your location. But now what we are working on, we are trying, for example, particularly London, where we have at any time, we have quite a number of applicants. So because of that, we want London to remain a production center. That's what we are working on now. Otherwise, it will have started on the 4th of January. But now that's what we are working on. So this thing you are raising, please put it put it out of context. Anytime you talk now, don't talk of your experience. It is over. It is over.
Thank you so
Now
much.
we have moved fast. The Minister of Interior, he's working well to address all these challenges, which I think already Canada, now they are on that system. You don't need to come to the mission. You don't need to go anywhere. You just log on, take your biometrics, make your payments. The next few days, your passport will be where you are. So please,
Wow.
just to make
Please,
that,
can we get some virtual applaud for our own ambassador, His Excellency Jaye? You can see things are happening. It's gone at the eras of stories. We're seeing actions. So for the person who asked that question, just put it together again, and you just see that on the next trade mission where Mujina is talking about for Manchester, you might just be on that trip, that trade mission team. So I see that Mujina, your hand is up. After Mujina, we would have the representative of NEPC. Mujina, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Benita. On the visa point, we understand the frustration. And like Joel was saying, I think it exists on both sides. You have business people also from the UK saying they find it hard to get visas to come visit Nigeria. And one thing I just want to assure you is that the UK does issue, I think it's about 300,000 visas to Nigeria. It's almost 10% of the visas that we issue worldwide go to Nigeria. So I know sometimes the examples where we don't get visas stick in people's minds, but there are people getting visas. I would just encourage people to be careful about how they fill in the forms. A lot of the times we do see people getting refused, and it's because financials didn't match or something like that. So you do have to be mindful about filling that in, and then also being clear about the reason you're coming, because coming as a visitor is slightly different to coming for business purposes. But one point I thought was really good was the point that I think it was Victoria from the NIPC made around, make links and partner with people who are already in the UK, which will also show that you have links and you're coming for serious business purposes, which can only strengthen your case in the application.
Very true, Mujina. Very true. Thank you so much for that insight. I don't know if Madam Ngozi is back now. Ngozi from NEPC. Can you please unmute and speak now? Okay, well, we'll still wait for her because a lot of questions here needs the attention of NEPC. Another question here says, what are the best UK-based organizations or network that can support healthcare business collaboration with Nigerians? I think we would have Mark attend to that question. What are the best UK-based organizations or networks that can support healthcare business collaborations with Nigeria? Mark, you can unmute and respond to the question.
Sorry, Benita, I don't think Mark is on the call anymore.
Oh. Okay.
I would say if the person who asked this question can send me, I had put my email in the chat. So if they contact us with, I think, a bit more specifics around, what exactly they're interested in, then I can follow up with Mark and the commercial team.
Thank you so much, Mujina. Please do drop your email address, and the person who asked the question.
Can I
yes,
just say,
Mr. John. Yes, please.
For people that are on the call that are in the UK, I think we need to know how to do business in the UK if you are resident in the UK. If you have the Nigerian mindset to start your business in the UK, you might be finding it a bit difficult. If you have schooled in the UK, the first constituency where you need to discuss your business idea is your university. Your university, your local council, they will provide you necessary support, necessary information, necessary data. So you can start from there. Because majority of people come to me, you've schooled, you've paid so much to go to school, you have a business idea, and you are doing it the same way, you are looking for money the same way you are looking for money in Nigeria, you are looking for people that will help you to push your businesses. Please start with your university. You will be surprised the kind of support you can get from your university, and the kind of support you can get from your local council, and the kind of support you can get from Department for Business and Trade. So you don't even move your, I've started a business in the UK that I wanted to expand to Africa. It is His Majesty Business Support because it's registered in the UK. So you don't push it abroad as if you are pushing your business abroad the same way you push it abroad by yourself. So you need to leverage on all these institutions, established institutions, Business Forum, British Chambers of Commerce. They have fantastic relations with Nigerian British Chambers of Commerce, fantastic relations with IOD. Use this opportunity to get support. Don't be on that journey alone. There are people that can support you. Your school alumni can support you. So please, let's use all this opportunity. It could be much easier than the way we think. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. That's great. That's true. Let's use the first-hand informations that we have to drive our business growth. A lot of options are available for us to use. So there's this question that says, how do we join British Business Group, please? I think, how do we join British Business Group? Yes, over to the British in the house.
Well, the way to join British Business Group is, it is number one, primarily for British PLCs. So if you are working for a PLCs, British PLCs, and also if that PLCs is in Nigeria, then you can join. Number two, if you're a British citizen, you can join. I think those are the two pathways to join the British Business Group, Nigeria.
Okay, so you must be a British citizen for you to be able to join.
Yeah.
So what about if you come in as a registered business in the UK? Are you not able to join such?
I'm not sure of that, but what I'm sure of is the PLC and as a British citizen. So then if you are a British business in the UK and you are in Nigeria, I don't know whether there could be concession around that, but what I'm sure of are those two pathways. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I saw Ngozi Ibe on the call right now. So Ma, you're going to unmute and please respond to a few questions for NEPC. I'll just take two and probably you just do justice to them. The question is, we have an NEPC certificate, and I have been looking for the opportunity to access the Go Global program since 2023. Please, what do you advise and how can I access this opportunity? We add value to Nigeria onions, producing onion flake and powder, among other products, and general agricultural products. So the person's question is, they are looking for the opportunity to have access to the Go Global program opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much. Interestingly, the last call for the Go Global certification scheme was done besides last year, November, but she can still send in her samples that I can follow up because there's still a window, yes, for her to be, included in that scheme. So if she can get her samples between now and Monday, yes, she has the opportunity, she will have the opportunity to participate in that scheme.
All right, thank you so much. To this note, I think all participants will agree with me that it has been a 2 hours well spent. We want to thank our speakers. This has been just amazing, great nuggets, great informations. It has been an incredible section. A big thank you to all our speakers, our excellencies, our ambassadors, and our esteemed attendees. We want to say thank you so much for participating, and we look forward to taking this forward.
Hello, Benita.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you. I had a question for Mujina. So just, I waited for the participant to finish before I can take her up on two issues. She had done justice to two schemes, DCTS and Growth Gateway, which she asked the participant if they want to be in to benefit from. I had wanted to hear from her also this UK Export Finance and then the BII. These are two schemes, though majorly for the BII, yes, it's through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then FCDO, but they support production in another country for UK market, and they have finance for that. Then also for UK Export Finance, that one I think is for people on this side of the divide who want to do business outside the UK, and they can key in and benefit from that one. So I don't know what Mojina will, I think if she can educate us more about these two or any more that the UK have for people that live on this side of the divide, so that let it not be only the one for people from Nigeria to work on this side, but Nigerians who already they have established here, they can benefit, and then also for thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Mojina, please can you quickly react to that as we're winding up?
Okay, thank you, sir. I think if it has to be quick, I will say on the BII side, they do investments, and we can send you a bit more information about sort of how they invest in Nigeria, because they sort of do it through a third party, sort of almost like venture capitalist type of arrangement. And on UKEF, UKEF has quite strict stipulations, so they can only sort of enter arrangements with countries if they are at a specific credit rating. And unfortunately, Nigeria at the moment is not at that credit rating that would be required to make them UKEF eligible. But we are sort of pushing them internally and monitoring the situation. And once Nigeria sort of meets that threshold, then I know that UKEF would be quite interested in pursuing projects in Nigeria as well. But if you want specific details of that, I think I do have your contact details, but send them to me again, just to make sure I have the most up-to-date ones, and then we can send through information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gina.
You used to have, but I think you have lost it, because I have been sending you WhatsApp chats since after your departure to Nigeria. I'm not getting response. So I thought maybe you have lost my contact.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Okay. Let's yes. So now the contact is restored today. So Mojina would also share so that you can have that shared. To this note, I want to say thank you to all our amazing speakers, our keynote speaker, and the British High Commission who, as an IOD, who had partnered with WIMBIZ on this laudable webinar. To this note, we're going to be having the closing remark and announcements by our very own program manager of WIMBIZ in person of Precious Majepo Dumni. Virtual Club, thank you, Precious, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say a big thank you to all our attendees for joining. You all agree with me that today's session has been eye-opening. We've been able to take back a lot of learnings on how to expand our business, both in Nigeria and the UK, being citizens, just even traveling, how to apply, and just ensuring that your financial records are correct. I would like to thank all our speakers once again, and the Nigerian High Commission in partnership with IOD Africa for partnering with us and just enlightening us. Very quickly on the screen, the team will be dropping the evaluation link in the chat box. We would like to hear from you so that we can, as you know, feedback is very important, and we'd like to take back all of this feedback and see how we can provide more robust programs for you going forward. We also invite our attendees who are not WIMBIZ associates today. Join us, fill the link in the form, fill the form in the link below, or you can reach out to us via membership@wimbiz.org. We also like to acknowledge our attendees who joined via the YouTube channel. We encourage you to subscribe, as this video would be uploaded to the YouTube channel. For many of you who also joined via Zoom, we also ask you to subscribe, as we'll upload the video there so that you can get so that you can be up to date on videos and programs that we upload there frequently. For our upcoming programs, save the dates. We have our second program for the year, which would be on health. It's scheduled to hold on Friday, 21st February 2025. It's a hybrid format. So for many of you who would like to join us physically, and for those who would like to join us online, the topic is emotional wellness and reproductive health, which we need, seen as we started 2025. Yes, so the link is also being dropped in the chat box, and we ask you to register. We have our 2025 WIMBIZ mentoring program. The call has begun and it's scheduled to close in some days. We ask you to click on the link that is also being dropped in the chat box to register. It's a 6-month mentoring program for entry level, middle level, senior level, people who need guidance in their careers and their business. You can also reach out to us via mentoring@wimbiz.org. Our 2025 Women on Boards mentoring program, WIMBOARD, has also begun. It's a 3-month mentoring program for women who aspire to sit on boards, people who are existing board members, and people who just want to have that knowledge, or even entrepreneurs who want to set up that corporate governance, that structure for their business and need guidance. Please register, and I assure you that you won't regret registering for that program. You can reach out to us via WIMBOARDmentoring@wimbiz.org. Save the dates. Our WIMBIZ London conference is coming up. This is the 3rd WIMBIZ London conference that is coming up, and it's scheduled to hold on Saturday, June 14th, 2025. Please be on the lookout. Registration will commence soon, and we encourage you, especially most of our attendees here today who are in the UK, to register. It promises to be exciting. The caliber of speakers as well. You'll begin to see them once we begin publication. To register for all our upcoming programs, we ask that you click on the link in the chat box. You can also visit our website, www.wimbiz.org, to register or reach out to us. You can reach out to us via programs@wimbiz.org, or on our Instagram channel, as Instagram handle @WimbizNG, LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have a webinar coming up in February as well. This is a partnership with Lloyds Bank that is in the UK. So our UK women, we are really, really intentional towards you, to our members, especially in the UK and even the globe. So please be on the lookout for that. Once that publication starts, please register to attend that webinar. We need accountability partners. Please indicate in the evaluation form.
I think there is a little bit of network glitch from Precious. Can you hear me? Can I get a confirmation that I'm audible?
Yes, I am done. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're done. Wow.
Yes.
That was quite brief. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm not sure what you heard, but we just announced our upcoming programs at least next month. We have the webinar coming up with in partnership with Lloyds Bank.
Lloyds Bank.
So yeah, Lloyds Bank is the UK, and we encourage our women to register for it. We also have our health roundtable that is coming up. It's a hybrid roundtable, an evaluation form for women to fill. And for those who need accountability partners, also subscribe on our YouTube channel.
All right. Thank you. And please don't forget to follow all the social media on WIMBIZ, all the social media platform of WIMBIZ, to stay connected. Thank you so much. It was good having you all here. Thank you so much. See you at the other side of the border.